Looks like we're starting.
And the uncle is immediately running away. Alright, let's see what we get. 20 rupees from the chest in Link's house.
Well, he's not gonna get very far. He's going to, like that Ken from Pokemon dropped into a well and broke his leg.
He was running from the moon a little too quickly that he fell down a hole instead. What he was doing coming up here in the first place in that scenario, I don't know, but... Blue King. My favorite.
A very interesting weapon to use. Magic consumption control is the key here.
The good news with Blue King is you generally speaking have more than enough. The problem is... Game taunting them with a full magic drop there. The problem with it is you don't have as much time to farm bombs up before the escape. So, unfortunately, unless they get a really lucky early drop, they're either going to risk running out of magic or just have to simply come back here later.
Yeah, but they could also find bombs in chests too. I see a lot of races where a random finds bombs and then just get heavy drops randomly on chest. Really funny if you ask me.
Yeah, that's one of the things that when the game's just like, you know what, here's the guaranteed bombs for everyone. It's like, thank you, game. How nice of you. So NZero's going to have to be a bit careful here or take an intentional magic refill because they've already used... Oh, wow. Power Glove already. But yeah, they've already used a fair bit of their magic, and the Blue King costs a lot each time you activate it, so they're going to be very, very close here on killing the next two guards.
Yeah. And another thing with power gloves is you don't have to worry about bombs as much because you have easier access to the 3 chests behind there.
NZero doesn't have enough to do this. Yep, he's just going to have to take the magic refill.
That's gonna be a costly time loss because the next checkpoint is at Zelda cell.
So fortunately they did introduce checkpoints to make this a little bit easier. When you reach certain parts of the escape sequence, unfortunately Ramil also having to take it, the guards being uncooperative right at the cell.
Well, that about evens things up.
So both of them unfortunately taking a bit of a time loss here. Fortunately for Ramil, choosing to die instead of saving and quitting places him right back at the front of the castle with a full magic refill instead of all the way at Uncle with it. But both of them have a full magic bar now, so they're not going to have any issues this time around. Blue Cane is a bit of a complicated item to use. You have to be, first of all, you have to be aware of how it, like, what part of it actually inflicts damage, as well as the fact that you really have to avoid turning it off and on, as that will just eat your entire magic bar.
Mm-hmm. So both are back to the ball and Chinga.
Ramil opting to just stand on him this time.
So if I were the runners, I would farm a few green cards to see if there's long draw in their prize pool because they are pretty good on magic and green card draws for magic as well.
And apparently little magic.
How many items are in an enemy's drop pool? I think we have seen at least 3 from green cards now. A small magic, a full magic, and a heart.
It's very much likely if they're going to spend magic in an attempt to get more drops, they're going to do it closer to the rats area because they go down very quickly. There's large numbers of them, so they don't have to keep reactivating the cane. All right, time for the sewer part of the sequence. Ramil wiggling back and forth.
I think there's a small time save called pumping because the sprite animation makes you move faster in certain location. I'm not sure if that's that, but that's not the first thing you learn in this game.
NZero getting the bomb drop, so they're going to be able to take the back of escape. As for Ramil's movements, I'm not sure if they're actually doing pumping. They might be. I'm not sure the exact timing on it myself, but sometimes it's just fun to wiggle around while you're running in a straight line, anyways. Somebody's probably going to tell me that that's actually a time loss, but hey, it's fun.
Both getting a small key, no problem. Remio going straight to Sanctuary, while N0 going to check the back 3 chests here in Escape.
Yep, the good news is Ramil is not going to take too much of a detour to come back here later, just because they've already found the power glove, so let's see what is in here, though. They're going to want to come back here, all right. I know Ramil in specific has noted that they don't like dark rooms, so they're really going to want that lamp.
And that's actually Death Mountain access, but there's not a lot to do there yet.
Yeah, a couple items, just the one from the old man and the one in Spectacle Rock, since they can't get on top of it without the mirror. Getting the blue mail in Sanctuary, you know, doing what its name implies, is giving you safety. How appropriate, but they're going to enjoy that because it's a nice bit of safety, and that it doesn't necessarily make you take half damage from everything. It depends on the specific source, but it's a fair increase in survivability for most occasions. Ramil not checking the poultry here. Or the bush crab. Full magics out of...
Magic is everywhere this seed.
No one wants to play with the bush crab today.
Well, I think we'll at least see the bush crab from Lost Woods here. It's on the way.
I guess that's true. That one's just right there as well, though. Watch, it's gonna drop full magics too.
So N0 take the drop spot first before checking the mushroom spot.
A bit unusual order. It works all the same, but it's a little bit of a time loss. So they've both got the money for more bombs in Kakariko if they require them. Looks like Ramil is just going to go straight to the chests and hope one of them contains the bombs. Not a particularly unsafe check, given how many bomb drops there are.
But a risky one nonetheless, because if there's no bomb drop here, yeah, he's got to double dip.
Fortunately, much faster than double dipping dungeons, and yeah, unfortunately, they're going to have to take a trip down to the bomb vendor or attempt the well as well, I guess. No, they're just gonna head down here and start doing this. Of course, a bomb capacity upgrade. That's not quite what they're looking for.
I remember back in version 18 or something, those come with a bomb as well.
Unfortunately, they took that out. Both Eastern and Desert are our 5/6 crystals, and Tower of Hera is the red pendant, so we have a very red light world.
Very interesting setup indeed.
Alright, well, what do you have for us? More red rupees. Literacy? Lamp and literacy so far. Well, and Power Glove, but
Looks like if I were him, then I would go to them, then go to the desert area instead of mini modron to see if the desert is boost lock or not.
unfortunately, I don't think they're going to do that just because nobody wants to do a blue cane land mollusk. Kakariko actually being kind of empty today compared to what I've been seeing.
Yeah, nothing so far. Where did NZero got of 400 rupees?
The back of Blind's house has a 300 rupee pack.
Yeah, Remio is going to get that right now.
I think the chicken coop also had more money, but I might be wrong there. There's another 300 rupees in the library. So Kakariko is incredibly rich, but not progression.
Well, here are your 3 bombs. Too bad you need to spend 1 bomb to get those, and he cannot.
To be completely fair, Blind is a thief, so they should have a ton of rupees to that, or they're really bad at their job. So NZero doing not checking the rock for another bomb. Taking a bit of an unusual play here instead of heading back into Kakariko and buying bombs. I guess they're just gonna hope for them.
Well, there's another bomb shop near the Link's house, towards Eastern Palace.
Unfortunately, not currently the direction they're heading, so they might be just hoping that there's bombs here, because you need bombs to get into Mini Moldorm Cave and Ice Rod Cave. That or they're gonna head over.
Also, yeah, and also a Guinness cave if they want to go there too.
Unfortunately, the early game does require a lot of bombs, so... Alright, do they get bailed out? I mean, it's a sword.
That helps fighting the mini drones, but not opening the cave.
Don't kill the bushcrab, pick it up. No, you cut it! Oh my god, nothing wants to draw bombs. We don't need more magic game, we've got enough. So when Ramil comes down here, they're going to be able to check the caves. Even the Octrox are just dropping more money. Everything in Hyrule is made out of money today.
Yep, nothing is dropping bomb for him. He's cutting grass for bombs now. Do they drop bombs?
I don't think so. I think only specific like rocks and bushes can drop them. They're just going to go on a killing spree across Hyrule at the current rate. Alright, we've got the fake flippers coming up.
Yep, he's banking on Hobo.
Meanwhile, Ramil is going to chuck the fish into water.
It's surprisingly hard to do because you cannot get hit to do and drop the fish doing that, and if that happens, it doesn't count.
Even mini Moldorms are dropping full magic. Alright, Hobo, what do you have for us? A little bit of love. Ramil, no. No.
No. He forgot
no.
the thieves. He forgot one item location in Mini Modern Cave.
Okay, well, let's hope they don't have anything. That'll be really, really unfortunate. It is pretty simple to forget that there's a couple NPCs in the game that have items, as opposed to just all of them being in chests.
Yeah, mostly this one and High Cave.
But looks like they're going to go take a look in desert.
Meanwhile, NZero is still farming bombs.
We don't know what he had.
Got a mine. Hey,
Got a bomb!
what's that enemy?
The rabbit! The rabbit's got bombs! Why does the rabbit have bombs? Alright, well, Agana's got just money, so another rich inhabitant of Hyrule.
And if I were him, I would just bumble all this mini model here. He's on bumbles right now.
Especially when they're insistent on dropping full magics. Alright, well, good news for Ramil is they only missed a little bit of love from the, I don't know, thief, I guess.
Yeah, at some point you will get bite by this place and never forget it again. Good thing it's not in this race.
Desert has the Moon Pearl, so
If ledge chest is an item, we think we're already confirmed it's boots locked.
Yep, that's a boot lock. A hoarder crabs are fairies. So unfortunately, Moon Pearl doesn't really, in and of itself, give us too much at the moment. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see either over to Sasrala or, well, that's probably where Ramil's going now. The flippers were on the ledge.
And Rebel didn't check it.
Depending on the status of swamp, they may be a non-essential item. If swamp is required, you absolutely need it. If it's not, then technically speaking, you can fake flipper to Ice Palace, and I'm pretty sure both of these two know how to do it. So we'll find out when we actually get to the Dark World whether they're going to require those or not.
But it also opens a lot of other item locations, and Sasha revealing the Dark World version of Eastern Planet is the Green Pendant. It's part Green Pendant.
Unfortunately, Sazrala not having much in his closet, so looks like Ramil is heading for Death Mountain.
You know, I think Zora's domain can have the answer today.
And Zero, where are you going?
My taking the shortcut to Agina doesn't have a bomb to open that, but still.
So not checking front of Eastern is okay. Never mind. Maybe Ramil is checking. What is Ramil doing? Oh, they're going up to Zora. Yeah. You mentioned Zora, and I completely blanked out on his existence already because he never gives you anything good until he does.
Well, if it's Zora himself has the good, Ramil is alright. But if it's the waterfall of wishing or the ledge, he's in trouble.
I feel like I should just be sitting here slagging King Zora as King Ripoff again because, you know, he decided to show me up and give the runner something nice. Last time I did that, so... He has a partial reputation to upkeep of ripping you off most of the time, and then being that guy that brings your run to a halt because you don't check him another time.
Nothing on ledge, less bomb capacity.
So N0 picking up the flippers. Let's see what they're going to do. They might be coming over here to check Zora as well. Fortunately, with the flippers, they will have access to Waterfall Cave on top of this.
And more importantly, this check doesn't require any bombs.
That too. That is a $500 dinner plate. That is expensive.
A fine silverware made by Zora King himself.
Unfortunately, I think at this point, Ramil is probably weeping for their wallet.
Looks like he's coming back to desert, but I remember he didn't check the desert ledge.
Alright, Waterfall Cave, what do you have for us? At this point, I'm thinking it's going to be either front of Eastern or Death Mountain, either Old Man or inside Spectacle Rock, because Zora's domain is empty.
There's not much else left. I think Ice Rock Cave is yet to be checked. It could be there as well.
Did Ramil not check? Oh no, Ramil didn't head up there. Yeah, that's right. Hobo only has a little piece of love. King Zora making 2 sales of dinner plates for 500 rupees.
The synchronous start. Looks like we're going to Death Mountain, or maybe not.
Decision changed. They're probably going to head over to Sazrala and check. Is Ramil stealing a key from Desert?
Looks like it. Risky play if you ask me.
Well, they're guaranteed to find the boots at some point because it is a locked, like it is a crystal dungeon. So it's a much more dangerous play in, say, Key Sanity, where if you steal that key and then the small key is somewhere really dumb, it'll take you forever to get back. In a normal match like this, it's not so bad.
Good point. I play too much Key Sanity. I have to admit.
Getting the big key, but now not being able to complete the dungeon because of until they get boots. So,
Well, at least they can check the big chest to see if Lemonas has the second item or two or not. But they have to be the easier way.
yep. All right. Meanwhile, in Eastern, it doesn't look like we found anything so far, but plenty of chests left. Oh, look, more rupees. Well, Landmolus, I don't believe has an item, unless I missaw something earlier. Just getting a
Yep,
little bit of love out of the big chest.
yep, there's 2 items.
Unfortunately, it's still going to have to head back there later just because of, well, it's a crystal.
Both players running low on bombs. Surprised Remil didn't take a bomb shot right next to where he jumped into Lake Hylia.
Oh my god. Finding the bow in Eastern. So French vanilla.
Yeah, one of the worst places to find both. Well, maybe not the worst. The worst would be pod because you usually check Eastern relatively early.
Well, the good news is they are now capable of clearing pod while Eastern, the light world one. They both have dark rooms while they're here. So gonna be able to pick up their first crystal.
Yeah, but that doesn't really unlock anything else for them.
Yep, and unfortunately they're gonna have to come back to this part of the map anyways because of pod. Oh wait, pod's a green pendant. So maybe pod is not needed. Is the game gonna be that nice? Alright, I believe there's still an item or two left in Eastern, and that's a compass, so that's not what they're looking for. So, onwards to Armos Knights. A little bit low on health, but fortunately being the first dungeon of the game where you're kind of anticipated to come here with, 4 hearts, I don't think that's going to be an issue. Ramil using their last bomb on Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, it's the first dungeon, but it somehow still put the anti-fairy that does 1 heart of damage regardless in it.
I mean, the game still has to be a little bit mean. Ice Rod having nothing. It's really wanting them to either head to or to finish off Eastern or to head to Death Mountain. Looks like Ramil is taking that trip up to Death Mountain now, while we're going to find out what Armos drops. Unfortunately, Ramil's going to have to head into Eastern at some point, because the item to actually complete it is, well, in here. Okay, never mind. They actually got all the items out of Eastern.
So, looks like Death Mountain is our answer today.
Yep. Either the old man or inside Spectacle Rock is, I think, about all that's left to check. If we're lucky, he'll give us the hook shot. Actually, maybe that's not what they want to see at the moment, but... And the old man, also a rich inhabitant of Hyrule.
NZero got a bomb somewhere in Eastern, going to check Sasha's backside. He really needs to remember there are bomb shops here in Hyrule.
Which I'll admit is kind of a questionable practice, selling bombs to anyone, but...
Ramil going straight into Spectacle Rock Cave, acknowledging there isn't really another option left.
Yeah, the only other place Ramil could check is Eastern, and oh no. Oh no. They're gonna go over to the east side of Death Mountain and be like, I have no bombs.
Yeah,
so
and they can access East side Death Mountain, but they can access the upstairs 5 chests first at least.
Yeah, they can also access Spiral Cave if they go around. So they've still got a few chests to check, and hopefully one of them will give them the bombs they need to open up the other 2.
You know what's strange about this Death Mountain is the bomb shop here requires you bomb open it. I've tried to be smart and do that without bomb once and got thoroughly disappointed.
I completely forget that there's even a shop up here just because it takes a bomb. You generally just don't. Alright, so hopefully they'll find a bomb somewhere around here, so this turns into not a commentator's curse.
NZero saving the owner and saving quits. I'm not sure where he's going.
I'm guessing trying to farm up a bomb, like right there. Alright, Death Mountain mini Moldorm hype cave thing. What do you have for us? Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, I think it needs a boomerang or bomb to go there. I totally forgot about that switch. Wow.
I I did too. And this seed is just being yeah, they really need to make a trip to a bomb shop because it just does not feel like dropping what they need. If they had a boomerang, if they had I think even bow can reach that actually. I'm not sure if bows get or if arrows get stuck in the rock. There's actually been a lovely Plando seed that required getting the boomerang to use on that cave to continue progressing, which is pretty clever because a lot of people just attribute the boomerang to unlocking nothing. But there are actually situations where, very, very narrow situations where it can.
Yeah, you have to make sure that no bombs are available whatsoever.
Yeah, but that can be done. But yeah, it won't come up in a normal randomized run. So Ramil picking up a bomb pack and probably going to make their way back up to Death Mountain. Fortunately, taking the old man up there gives you your respawn point. So
Meanwhile, N0's not check the speckled rock cave, not having the hook shot is going somewhere.
all right, time for Paradox Cave take two. This time with more than enough bombs for what they could possibly need. Well, there's our first bottle, which will give us access to Sick Kid.
N0 got this bomb. I'm not sure which cave is going to bump open with that.
I'm guessing Ice Rod Cave because I believe they checked Mini Moldorm earlier. Oh my god, these enemies are just not letting them through though. Hammer in Death Mountain. So that actually allows us to get over to Hera without the mirror. And the mushroom for good measures.
And the whole Dark World as well. We're going Hera for now. Missing checking the Ether tablet. But Hera is a pendant, so I can understand that decision.
Yeah, that's fair. Dark World is probably more likely to pay out than Pendant Hera. Tower of Hera does only have 2 items in it, and one of them might even be basement locked, which no one wants to do, so. The quick trip to the Dark World might pay out a bit more. Unfortunately, N0 finding out that, once again, Ice Rod Cave is more money. Unfortunately, they need to make their way up to Death Mountain to pick up their hammer and stuff, but they do require more bombs for that.
Is there a shop under the big rock there? I'm not sure it's Light World or Dark World.
Sick kid, why are you giving away health if you're sick? Shouldn't you, I don't know, give something else? Seriously, why didn't the sick kid just use that heart container?
Well, maybe there's the idiom says too much is not enough. Maybe he has too much health, so he's sick.
Fair enough. Is N0 going to fight Aghanim, or is
He
he just
cannot.
coming in here?
He cannot.
Oh, he can't. Yeah, that's right. No Master Sword. Or Cape. I guess I'm just gonna go on a guard killing spree.
Looks like still forming bombs.
Unfortunately, Blue King doesn't quite work the way Cape does. So one of the big things between the two is the cape does provide intangibility overall, whereas the blue cane just kind of is a protective and kind of offensive shield. So you can't actually blue cane your way through the barrier there, nor can you use it to get past bumpers.
He don't know what to I think he forgot Spectre Rock. Then Ramiro is into Thieves Town, going to at least check the first floor. He can just go clear this dungeon no problem with that sword and King of Perna. It's not going to be easy without boost, especially the Hellway.
Fortunately, once you get to blind, though, with blue cane, it's almost a free fight. You just have to get through the first couple of phases, and blue cane has more than enough magic to easily carry you through the third one. And obviously, the third phase is the most dangerous part, so it is one of the advantages to finding that or getting that from Uncle right at the start.
So what NZero needs now is remember there are bomb shops and to get to the Spectral Rock to get a hook shot and continue on from there. Not seeing the first floor, and do we have anyone has audio to tell us this is Pendant Dungeon music or Crystal Dungeon?
Well, I'm sure we'll find out in the long run because they're either going to clear while they're here or not. It doesn't. It is one of those dungeons that I think they're trying to get out of here. Yeah, the enemies are just being a little bit uncooperative. So I'm guessing it's probably a pendant if they're taking. All right, it's a crystal dungeon. Thank you. So Ramil's probably going to take the opportunity to clear this then. They've got all the equipment they need to do it. And they've even got the hammer for checking the big chests, so no need to keep... or no need to just take off for no apparent reason. They've even got a ton of hearts and blue mail already, so they're pretty set for this place. They don't exactly need a bigger weapon because blind takes the same number of hits no matter what you're hitting them with.
And looks at SRTP, and it looks like NZero has already forfeited. Pretty unfortunate.
The seed is fairly linear and, well, not too linear, but it's got a couple very specific locations it wants you to go through, narrowing down to the Spectacle Rock being absolutely required, and what with bomb drops being a little bit uncooperative. There is the option of, obviously, of going and buying bombs, but it's kind of something you don't really run into until you start doing Randomizer, because, well, simply put, there are a lot of locations that you need to check in very, very quick succession. Actually, I should probably look into what they do in the in NMG, because I'm not sure if they actually just go and buy bombs in that.
Do they even need bombs in that?
I mean, you need a few throughout. Throughout. I'm curious if they just rely on drops, though. Anyways, that's not part of this race. So, Ramil grabbing blind and heading straight upstairs. So, oh, they don't have the small key. All right, so the small key is going to be in the chest. They don't have to worry about heading back down to the big chest at all. So whatever's left is going to be on blind. Blind, please.
It looks like the fake blind was facing the direction the player is facing, so he's dragging. His looks like he's dragging blind back to this cell, which is also pretty funny.
And easy blind, just because blue came. And only dropping 20 rupees.
So looking at the current item configuration, they can go to south towards Hype Cave or north towards Catfish and Pod. We know he's not going to find Bow in Pod because Bow is in Eastern, but those are options available to him.
I feel like South Dark World is probably probably the more standard issue option here, and the one that we're going to end up seeing. Unfortunately, not having mitts to pick up the frog and not having the mirror to immediately take them back. So if they go this route, it's going to be the kind of inefficient version of it.
And the house behind the pit, that's a shop too. I'm not sure if that sells bombs.
Fire rod in C-shape house, so that means Ramil can actually go fight the moth if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And I'm not being wrong about it this time, I swear. They've got a sword. I know they have a sword.
But not the best equipment to fight boss with. But they can.
There are far better setups you'd prefer, but it is relatively doable. The blue mail will offer a bit of protection from moths. I don't want to say onion rings because that's already in use by Super Metroid. But the moths and energy beams, as well as well, it doesn't affect the spikes, unfortunately. So
Entering the skulls from the wrong entrance is not going to get anywhere with from here. So we're going to find out whether Skullwood is a crystal or pendant from the music here. Right after they drop.
or one of those skull rocks being right in the bush just before another one of the skull rocks. This is too many skulls, Wood. So this room's an interesting one because it's actually harder to do if you hesitate, but if you move through it quickly and in a very specific pattern, you will both get past the fire bar and the beetles in pretty quick succession. So
key in Skullwoods already, but they have to go through the bumper room to get the small key to the other side.
So this chest is always guaranteed to be a small key. I'm pretty sure that's common knowledge by now, but I'm going to say it anyways, just to prevent this part of the dungeon being soft lock possible.
Yeah, there's a drop that drops directly to here for whatever reason, and if that chest is not small key, you have to save and quit. Looks like we're going to big chest the familiar way. There's a neat trick with the hook shot here. From the bottom of that room he was previously, you can actually hook shot across to the skulls here without taking the drop. So that's the first item here is skull.
All right, so looks like they're going to head back and attack. Well, they haven't checked out. What am I talking about? They still need to check the push statue room. Good job, me. I won't be surprised if they check Moth while they're here, though.
Looks like he's forgoing this room thinking it's too much a hassle. Uh, partly truth, I guess. Also, you can bumble the whole room and then push the statue at your own leisure. That's what I would have done.
So plenty of magic still to get through this room. A lot of people will actually opt to, if they've got one of the medallions, specifically bombos, use that to just blow up everything in here so they don't have to fight a bunch of Gibdos or burn too much magic, killing each and every single one of them. Unfortunately, They have a lot of health, and
Yep, if I had bumbles or either, I'd just use it right here like that.
explosions and done. So
The strangest thing is all the bumble is said to be tons of fire, but it doesn't like torches.
it's very inaccurate fire. It's very short-lived fire. It burns through its fuel very quickly. You just kind of throw it everywhere. Unfortunately, the only good pod in the... I forgot they even have the blue goo, so this fight has a little bit of extra security in the form of being able to refill their magic and health if required. Opting to burn the moth first.
Fire Rod does Metal Sword damage. Not the best damage class. I think it needs 8 hits without hitting a spike. If Monster is hitting a spike, it nullifies the damage it takes.
But Moth being very cooperative, spending a lot of time in the center of the room and just getting incinerated, basically.
And that's a crystal. But we still have one more item here. It's going to be the walk around room, or it's going to be the statue room. Now let's drop I never seen people take.
All right, where's Ramil going now? Looks like going to head back to Sanctuary and probably double back over to the Dark World portal. Unless they're heading to... Okay, they're heading back over here. I thought for a second they were going to turn right and head over to Eastern, and I was just going to be like, okay. I'm just... Why do I guess what people are trying to do?
Easter is sensible, as in can turn the mushroom on his way there, and after Easter he can just walk down and smash the portal. Well, that's given if he know he's going to get a bow here, but he doesn't. And add the two pods right next to it. But he doesn't have bow, and he doesn't know he will get bow there, so that's boot.
Yep, someone checked... Just finding all of the like homeless guards and skull rocks under bushes today. Well, I guess this is the part where they're just going to do the Dark World cycle, or the South Dark World cycle. Makes sense at this point. Unfortunately, still not finding Titan's Mitts on the way, so they're not going to be able to do it the efficient way. You would need Mire on top of Titans anyways. But they can still hit a few locations down here. Digging Game, the Haunted Grove itself, or at least the Dark World counterpart, as well as the all-important Hype Cave.
Yeah. One could say this could be more efficient if they take the mirror spot out on a separate location and just split with the purple chest. It just depends on what item you have.
Getting more love. This seed is healthy, very, very healthy currently. Pedestal's not necessarily available yet, because we don't know where the blue pendant is.
Well, we can see what's on there with the book, but it's a long walk there, so I doubt the runner will go there.
It could be. Unfortunately, that's one of the issues of doing Skullwoods without the mirror, because if you've got the mirror, you can just, as soon as you're done fighting Mothula, or before you fight Mothula, just take a quick mirror over and see what's on there. But still no mirror. We're missing all of the navigation convenience items, really. No boots, no flute, no mirror.
So we're here at Hype Cave.
Well, finding boots and finding mirror. So, I'm just gonna stop talking now.
Commentator's blessing for once. The question now is, now what?
They can finish Desert. If they go into Eastern, we're probably going to see Pod Eastern now, because they can mirror straight over from one to the other, which makes that a lot more convenient. They're going to get their bow out of Eastern, probably finish at least Eastern, maybe not Pod. If they go back to desert, that will also unlock double-chested. Even the fairies have puns.
I actually never visited the ferry before, so I probably should do now to see the other puns.
They can't let blind have all the fun. Have all the pun. That was terrible. Yes, I know. I'm not sorry. They might clear pod while they're here, actually, just because it is green pendant. They can take the opportunity to mirror and turn it into Sahasrara right away.
So if we are here, do you do Eastern first or just check if pod is both locked first?
Well, I can't really make that call because I know where the bow is. To be completely fair, I'd probably check Eastern myself, but when it comes to making the decision at that exact moment, a lot of people I can definitely say would probably go pod just because it has more item locations.
Well, we'll see if he's forced out of pod here in the first chest. If it's not a smoky, we have bow lock.
Convenient? No.
Could have been so convenient getting a bowl of plot, mirror, and got a bowl from Easter. Alas, not to be here.
Alright, Ramil, where are you going? Going to make the Hera play? Oh no, gonna check at least Bonk Rocks at the moment. And a big 20. And no one was surprised.
And Chad goes smiled.
Unfortunately, not actually able to get into King's Tomb at the moment. Would need to come in through the Dark World, as Light World alone requires Titan's Mitts.
So North Dark World is now full clearable. He can check the Bumper Cave and Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb and potentially the Catfish as well. So he's turning the mushroom for now to hammer what?
Might as well take the opportunity while here. Let's see what they've got. A little bit of love. Refilling the bottle while they're here, since they fought Matula.
Taking a refill only to lose them with a save and quit.
That's something you can easily forget, that you restart with a set amount of hearts. It's kind of a little bit of instinct while you're there to just talk to the Witch's Apprentice and get the free refill, and then unfortunately, yeah, when you reload, it just takes it away. It's like, it's not the worst example I've seen of that in the game, but it's kind of unfortunate that it does that. But it is a good thing to just get in the habit of doing that. If you're going to go pick up potions, you might as well just grab the refill.
A swamp play this early.
Well, when you're still looking for a bundle of items, this location has a lot. I don't know. Maybe we did miss a map check at some point. All right, Swamp. Do you have anything good for us today, or are you just another case of getting in the way?
Well, on the bright side, Remio is going to force to Eastern sometime in this seed because he's not going to find it anywhere else.
Yeah, Titans, of course.
Of course. So right now we are looking for the red cane and ice rod and flute for no mode. Oh, in the entrance medallions, of course.
Definitely worth a trip here alone, though. That one item is... Oh, and Master Sword. So they're set for... technically set for finishing the Ganon fight. Nobody wants to do Master Sword Silverless, but it is an option.
Or if, yeah, it's an option. Option not a lot of people like to take.
It's not too bad with some practice. It's just one of the hardest things to do in the game. It's just a case of making 2 mistakes and having to start over again, like 3-4 minutes into a fight. Yeah, nobody wants to do Master Sword Silverless. It takes forever. It's dangerous. You really have to get the torch glitch if you're gonna complete it in a reasonable magic cost, or come in with a ton of potions. But finding a Master Sword does mean that if we find another sword upgrade, it's straight to Tempered, because, that's how progression works. And Tempered is a huge improvement, so just having 2 swords with this many locations left to check is really, really good.
Yeah, see, I watched the ways I'm watching before coming in. They have score list like almost 30, 20 or 30, so this is definitely a better sword scenario. Big key on the left side, so we don't have to worry about seeing that in the back of that Swan Tooth and wonder whether we should go back or not, and finding the powder in the vanilla big key chest.
Oh my god, that's 3 decent items in Swamp: Powder, Titans, and Master Sword. So this was a really, really good dungeon to come into.
Yeah, and total reasonable one too, because he doesn't know where his balls are, so he'd rather choose dungeons he can full clear.
So he hasn't picked up the compass yet, but there's 4 chests, so that's what, still... Yeah, I think that's... Wait, am I bad at math? There's 3 or 4 items left in the dungeon. I think I'm bad at math here. I think there's 4.
There are 2 down down the pathway and one in the push block and one on August, and we're missing combos, so that's 3. And currently also we had Titans, Powder, and Master Sword already, so that's at most 3. So I think the answer is 3.
Well, there's Compass, so. Look, more love. Swamp, please. Okay. 4 decent to important items so far, and a piece of heart.
Yep, Swarm is turning up today, wanting to change the reputation of having nothing. It's having everything today.
Forget the hype cave, we've got the hype dungeon today. So with Argus, have to be a bit careful when pulling puffs from below, because the hookshot does a very good job of trying to get you killed here. You can pull them to you and slash them twice without getting injured, but it's pretty specific timing. The other 3 directions, though.
Yeah, I heard there's claim that you just smash it and it would work, but I personally don't have that experience.
I'll admit that's my experience with it, is if I just mash really quickly.
Well, it looks at, yeah, well, it just sounds like it doesn't mesh hard enough then. It's hard to mesh on keyboard.
Yep, that's fair. Alright, opting to get use Fire Rod here, getting a few good hits in. And boop. Argus is down. And a B. So clearly 5 good items.
Totally. If that's a golden B, it's 100 rupees as well. Although I don't think they will be keen to sell it.
Probably not, but it's a B in a bottle, so. Or Emil, where are you going now? Probably opting to check Bombo's tablet while they're down here.
Yep, and think might be returning for a backstory with his newly found Titan Smith.
Okay, hey now, bees are always useful.
Well, he's already been mastered, so that's not as useful as it could have been.
I mean, you can fight Ganon in bullet time. Great for dodging bats, just get your matrix on.
Looks like he's finished off desert.
Then again, you can do the same with the blue cane, because that also generates just a ton of lag during that fight.
But as of right now, you cannot spin that with blue can.
I'm still curious if the game will like explode if you go into the Ganon fight during the fire bat phase and just launch 4 bees and pop out the blue cane. Anyways, taking the opportunity to clear desert is definitely a good idea. They got the boots, so since they're in the area, they're checking Bombo's tablet. They might as well come through here and
Forgetting to pick up the small key he stole, though.
So this is the issue with stealing a small key, even in this mode, is it's very easy to forget that you did it earlier. And it's not that big of a time loss because he's really just going to come in here, pick up the pot, not get the key, turn around, head back out, remembering. Or they're going to remember right here and make me a liar again. I've been really good at that this match, apparently.
Well, people forget the big key on Torch all the time after boost Gomo as well, so it's not restricted to small key.
Yeah, this is nothing that most runners haven't done before, so. I will admit I am in that number. Conveniently, with the mirror, it's even less of an issue because you can just portal back to the door there. So they're just going to run through here at this point and finish up desert.
Yep, with Fire Rod, I think Lemon is going to be very short-lived.
Especially with half magic on top of that too. Why does everything in the sea drop full magic? We've seen that drop so many times now. Getting a nice key dash there without actually lining up with a specific object. Most people will push up against a wall or stand in a door, but you can get it just from the center of the room as long as you got the pixel alignment right.
Yep, I think it's going to. You need to be specific. Multiple of specific number of pixels away from the door to dash, or you are bunk on the door.
Yes, I believe it's a multiple of 4 pixels away from the door, because it makes the check, I don't know, at a specific point. I think at a very specific point before the door rather than when you actually bonk into it. Which, you know, that check before the door is kind of a bit of a nuisance in Turtle Rock if you get bumped into the one door after getting the small key from the pokey. I am curious to see if they're going to head over to Podden Eastern area again. I feel like they're putting it off in hopes of finding Bo somewhere else.
Yeah,
but if
so
they do,
yep, I think they'll put it off. So I think we'll see a Eastern Dark Death Mountain or Blacksmith Place here.
that's definitely a good one to go and hit, because with the hookshot they can check all the hookshot caves. They can see what the medallion for Turtle Rock is. Now, it is a pendant, but they might opt to just check Tower of Hera while they're going to Spike Cave. Okay. Fortunately, Blue Cane and Half Magic basically stops you from ever dying here. No, can't turn it off before picking stuff up, though. Unfortunately, when you start picking that rock up, you are guaranteed to take, I believe, 3 hearts of damage from the spike, because if your Blue Cane is already down, you're going to take a hit from the first one while picking it up, the second one while you've lifted it up, and the third one after you finish throwing it. I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate, but point remains. Definitely want to keep your invincibility items still active while you're dealing with that rock.
So we're seeing Dark Death Mountain instead of Spike Cave. He might believe he doesn't have enough magic anymore.
Choosing to eat the blocks with the mirror here. You can also hookshot your way through these. It's a fair bit more precise. With a bit of practice, it's pretty simple, but the mirror is just like any other time you're eating blocks. You just mash Y a bunch and it's gone. It's by far the most guaranteed way of doing this. And unfortunately, if you miss the hookshot clip here, you do lose a little bit of time from having to do an extra screen transition or two, depending on which one you failed on. But again, if you got the mirror, you can also absolutely just use the mirror and not worry about that at all. You can just eat the block and it's gone.
So he's entering Hookshot Cave. We did not know what's on the floating island yet, but he found the silver as his first item here.
More love. Red cane.
I don't know. That sounds like Ice Rod in Turtle Rock to me.
Oh no. And it's Bombo, so it can be opened while he's here. If he heads in here, I'm really hoping that Ice Rod is actually in this dungeon, because nobody wants to come back to Turtle Rock for a second trip.
If I were him, I would totally go in. Because you are here, another fully off is just another trip.
Well, the good news is we know that it's not at Eastern Palace, so it's not like avoiding Eastern because of missing one item is going to be the problem here. And so it is entirely possible that it is in here. It's unusual after having spent so much time avoiding Eastern because of the bow to decide to go into Turtle Rock of all dungeons. Never mind. Okay, well, Ramil's just gonna leave. Oh, yes, Lionels. Everyone loves Lionels. You can't charge through them with a Master Sword, because the Master Sword, if I remember correctly, like, you poking them with a dash and the Master Sword just doesn't hurt them. They just don't care about the Master Sword, really, so...
So basically, they're as tough as Ganon.
I'm not even sure if Master Sword spin affects them. It probably does. I'd imagine it would, but yeah, apparently they're as tough as Ganon, so... I believe so, but it's not just pokes. You can't slash them with a Master Sword either.
Well,
you can't dash through them, you can't slash them.
charging through it is kind of slash them.
And that's exactly why sword beams are terrible, and everyone should take a point of damage and lose them, unless you're in one of, like, 2 very specific rooms. Yeah, making us do basement for Hera, because no big key.
And both item is going to be behind this big key.
If Ramil is lucky, they're not actually going to have to kill Trolldorm, though. The items will be in the 2 chests on the middle floor. Given how the seed has been going, I don't really see that being the case, but it is possible.
Well, I go kill Troodon regardless because I don't know which puzzle is required, and I'm the closest to Troodon as of right now. It's going to be a long trip to come back up and kill Troodon, so I might as well do it now.
That's fair. That's fair. Because if it does turn out being required, you're just gonna have to walk all the way back up here again. That's probably more time than killing Moldorm, so.
Well, it's a gamble nonetheless, because if it's not required, all the time you spend on troll is the strict time loss.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it, Carissa. Those are the items we could find there.
And looks like Showdown does have an item, because we found the compass already.
All right, let's see what the hamburger is holding today. So this boss is either very cooperative or the worst thing ever, depending on how they feel like moving.
He has two choices here to use Masters or Spins or Hammer Bashes. They both deal the same amount of damage.
Fortunately, the spin has... Oh, that's a poke.
That's going to enter the rage phase if you do another spin here. So the good situation is you do another slash here. Oh, here's the rage rate. And he poked the tail just right.
That was a really nice movement there. And more love. Oh, it was even Sank hard, just for good measures.
A nice refill right before a nice refill from Hendon.
Got to save those frames. Literal frames. I mean, given all of the silliness, it's nice that, you know, Trollworm shows a little bit of love once in a while. He appreciates the runners. Even if they're... Oh, well, we found the flute, so the flute's not on pedestal anymore.
Yep, and that flute is accessible. I almost took it as a blue rupee on first glance, I have to admit.
It happens. They're the same color, so... Yeah, people are happy to count Shovel as a pedestal check item just because it is a fetch quest that could lead to something, so... It's really, really dumb when you get a seed that's like... Here you go, have the shovel and then have something else.
Yeah,
We're
fetch quests are one of the worst items to see on pedestal because you don't know whether you need it or not.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, is the ice rod buried with a shovel? Oh no. Speaking of which, let's see where Ramil's going from here. Probably to activate the flute immediately.
And looking at his play pattern, he likely will go clear. That's what Mystery Mire next.
Yep, have the lamp, have the red cane. They're not going to get the...
Well, if he can actually enter Mire, that is.
Vermeil needing to be a little bit careful there. I'm seeing some very very dangerous text on their screen. All right, so checking Mire is absolutely the thing to do at the moment, just to find out what the medallion is alone. Not to mention Mire Shed and Checkerboard Cave are just fantastic locations to find items because there's three pretty accessible locations. Opting to check items before the medallion, though. And it's Bombos too.
So looks like we have no other use of other medallions.
The only remaining item that could be required and on the pedestal is now the ice rod or the shovel leading to it.
Just hope you go first.
All right. The good news about coming in here now, as well, is that Mire isn't that much faster in go mode. So, depending on where it feels like putting the key, if it gives you the perfect layout, it is really fast in go mode. But if it decides to put it in the cutscene chest, it doesn't matter how many items you have. This dungeon can take its time. So.
Just hope he remembers checkboard after this Mire. So. So to answer chat, Canada forfeited because he forgot back the rock cave, which has the progression item as in hook shot, and he has a hard time getting bombed. So both of them piled together, so he forfeited.
Opting to use the cape here to conserve health. Of course, when you're not in go mode, it's going to be the perfect Mire. Naturally.
Looks like he's going to sweep the right hand side first before going for the switch. Wait, can he access the one chest next to big chest without hitting a switch?
Nope, unfortunately, because it's going to be blocked off by the blue pegs. Well, getting the red boomerang. I'm curious. I think you might be able to. He might be able to go up there and spend the small key to open that door. But it's just not going to be as efficient as doing a loop from with the blue pegs already down. So if he really wanted to, I'm pretty sure he can access that without the blue pegs, but
forgotten to hit the switch, so the next chest behind this door is also going to block off by pegs. He sees it.
All right, let's see what we've got in cutscene chest. Well, not quite yet, obviously. We need to wait here for a bundle of time. We'll soon see what's in cutscene chest.
Well, talk about luck now. Let's both item here in Mire. He doesn't need to check anything anymore. Just straight to pictures.
Yep, they're just going to take the quick teleporters through the back here and go in. I'm curious as to what strat they'll use on Vitreous, because they've got a few options. And by a few options, I mean it'll probably be cape dashes.
He can refill match for that, or he can just bomb those eyes.
Yeah, I guess we could chuck a lot of bombs at Vitreous too. It's not that fast, but they don't have the bow, so their options are cutting it conventionally, cape dashing, or chucking bombs at it. Or hammer, I guess. You could hammer if you really, really wanted to. I don't think anybody wants to hammer Vitreous though.
There's also his spins, but you have to charge at the facing the facing the right direction charging, or you will poke the eyes instead.
Yeah, that's probably the better choice, actually, given the tempered sword damage on that. Well, now it looks like we're going to chuck bombs instead of using our blue goo, so... Well, ultimately they're going to have to spend a resource of some kind during this fight, either in the form of chucking bombs or popping the potion, so... Because Master Sword alone is really, really time-consuming and dangerous.
And using bomb has an added benefit that when the big eye comes out for a laser, it will damage it with the bomb as well.
Good use of potion there, because that was getting really, really, really dangerous. Vitreous, even with red mail, still does a considerable amount of damage. Really don't want to try to hammer Vitreous in the upwards direction. Hammer's up hitbox is questionable. Alright, we're going to...
Spend the sword.
This is kind of why Master Sword Vitreous is terrible. It takes so many hits. Vitreous has a lot of health, and the Master Sword just doesn't do very much.
Everybody's relatively safe, I guess.
You think that until, Vitreous does a very nice timed hop in, bops you in the face, and kills you.
Oh yeah, I've had it happen before.
But Ramil gets it, and they get out of there, still conserving their second potion, and, well, a bomb. Not heading for Checkerboard Cave. I'm curious if they're going to go where they're going to go now. Looks like the Kakariko. They might be doing the the full South Kakariko loop now with the blacksmith and purple chest.
Yep, looks like it. The big decision now is whether he wants to do Ice Pass before Eastern or the other way around.
I feel logically it'll probably be Eastern before Ice Palace. Ice Palace is still a pendant. We still don't know what's on pedestal itself, but you're generally, if you don't know, probably going to opt for at least attempting the crystal dungeon first.
Mm-hmm. And we still don't know where the ice rod is.
And unfortunately, even if they go to Eastern, it's not going to be an Eastern, so...
So looks like we are back to the list good old phase of randomizer of where is ice rod.
This is why Turtle Rock being required sucks. It might almost be worse if they find Ice Rod now, though, because they'll probably take that straight up to T-Rock. I'd say full clearing that is an issue, but it's not that much longer than go-moding it. Wow. Great reward there from the blacksmith. So, now that we've acquired the single arrow, we can hopefully find a real item.
So looks like the best position for Remil to find the ice rod is likely pot, I'd say.
Yeah, I feel that they should probably be heading back over in that direction, but doing overworld checks is not usually a bad thing. Not taking the purple chest though. Oh, they're gonna do okay. Yeah, they're doing north of North Dark World. They've got the cape, so if Bumper Cave is something useful, they can pick it up. They have the stuff they need for King's Tomb and what's it called? North of Graveyard Cave. Unfortunately, they've already checked Monk Rock, so they're not going to find anything there. Why? Because they've already found it. A single rupee at Bumper Cave. That's no fun.
Fun fact though, I think you can do all of this with the purple chest as well.
You can, but it's also not necessarily something that's... I guess it depends if they have any intention. If they don't want to head down and hand it in afterwards, they're just not going to grab the purple chest, is what it comes down to. No point dragging it around since you can't... you have to do this strange thing with either bumping off enemies or grabbing stuff with a hook shot to be able to use your boots while you've got the purple chest. Because otherwise, as soon as you hit A, you just kind of leave it there.
Well, you need to leave it there to enter caves anyway.
Yeah, but running around is just... It's a nice little bonus to speed if you're not familiar with doing the hookshot trick or bouncing off of enemies. If they're intending to do the south route after this, they'll probably opt to pick up the purple chest then. They could have brought it along though and fluted from wherever they're ending their cycle down to 2 and just handing it in quickly there. but you know, sometimes you just don't want to do that.
You swing there and you knock shot here.
Yeah, unfortunately, can't reverse hook shot. This is actually the opposite of Light World. So it looks like we're going to, I'm guessing, hit Pyramid and then go to hopefully back to Pod and Eastern from here, because they'll find their bow there. And be able to clear Pod if they want to, but they need to clear Eastern. So
Interesting though. Did he check catfish?
I don't
Before?
think so. No. Wow, there's a fourth bottle. Not interested though. Opting to switch back to the Light World here and Flute. Alright, where are you going, Ramil?
Looks like the southern route you just described. He really doesn't want to do this eastern power combo without the bow.
It is a precaution to take where you just don't want to go into a dungeon if you can't complete it. Unfortunately, there is a bit of a time where when you do that too much, that you just it's one of the things that as a runner you just kind of have to decide on. It's like, am I going to be the type that will check a dungeon if I can't do it, or if I'm just going to.
Oh yeah, our track points. Remy already found out our pod is bow locked, so that might decrease the incentive to go there without finding the bow first elsewhere.
Yeah, can't complete either of them without it, and unfortunately, it's in one of them. All right, here comes a purple chest. We are hopefully still looking for a third sword as well. As noted previously, even though they'll have silver arrows, Master Sword Ganon is still not preferable.
Yeah, but at the other hand, last sword is probably gonna be GT or something.
Yeah, it's probably going to be in GT. There's 2 bomb trees on this screen, so they're very good at getting in the way when you don't want them to.
I know some runners that actually take directly walk into that tree for a boosting speed there. We're fluking again. Where do you go now? Remember it's checkerboard.
Good to get these disparate locations out of the way. Like I said, unfortunately, they're not going to find their bow. They're eventually just going to have to go into Eastern without it. But if they can pick up the ice rod and another sword along the way, then it works out. Still works out. Ooh, not getting that portal back. I don't think they might be able to, but I'm not sure.
Well, if he's going to flew away now, he doesn't need that portal anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
For,
at this point, I think we're going to see a full kill Turtle Rock before he goes to Eastern.
could be making the trip back up to Spike Cave here. Trying to hit that portal while hook dashing is a thing. Okay, not opting for... Did they check Ether Tablet already?
Yeah, that's bomb capacity.
Alright. Well, we got another piece of love. The seed wants him to be really, really healthy.
Well, we're really close to full clearing the whole map right now.
Unfortunately, Spike Cave just turning into an arrow upgrade.
Looks like he's convinced that boys in Pearl cannot blame it. It happens way too often. So we do know the best thing he can find here is going to be Ice Run, making him able to clear the Turtle Rock in one go.
Yeah, if Ice Rod is here in T-Rock, that'll be, well, really convenient, but... I love how even when you bonk there, it still smashes the peg down. You just smash it so hard it throws you backwards. And now for the late game dungeon, that just gives you magic all over the place. As I'm prone to pointing out, Skullwoods has like no full magic in the back area where you really want it, but T-Rock just has it everywhere. There is a section you can run out of magic, but it's when you've got half magic, it's very much likely that's not going to occur, and it only really is a problem if you're using Fire Rod to kill enemies.
Yeah, you can run out of magic right after Roller Room towards the Samaria maze, but it just rarely happens.
Opting to take the, I guess, kind of intended. All right, switching to the hookshot style.
I have never seen that route before, I have to be honest.
Oh, there's our tempered sword. Alright, so that's 2 of T-Rock's items already. That means there's only 3 left in here, plus Mimic Cave. So 4 more chances to find the ice rod here.
And we know that Chanchan Rule is going to have the small key and a big key is going to be vanilla.
So really convenient finding the tempered sword here, because that makes killing the pokies significantly easier.
Pretty decent change of room given how it can go so wrong and so fast. Only taking 2 hits from the chumps with red mail is very reasonable.
As opposed to losing your entire health bar when green mail. How much do they do with green mail? Is it 6 or 8 hearts?
I think it's 4 actually, I'm not entirely sure.
Really? I always thought they hit harder than that. Okay. Oof. Unfortunately, getting the spin on the crystal switch, making it cycle a couple of times.
Turok, while being the last dungeon of the game, is just full of resources, so if you know where to find them, it's not going to be a problem. Well, if you have powder anyway.
All right, getting through this room easily enough. Yeah, they're gonna take the outside door here and go and check Mimic Cave. They've got everything they need to do it, and the last thing you want to do is finish T-Rock and have not checked Mimic Cave.
Yep, the worst seed to give you is to have a mirror on Trinex or Laser Bridge so that you have access to Mimic Cave after T-Rock.
Yeah.
So there are a few ways to control these mimics. You can pull on the wheel, but you cannot be you need to press A to pull the hold on the wheel without touching any direction, or it wouldn't work.
Oh man, BugNet. You know, Spaz, I'd question that logic, but I've played Link's Awakening, so I've seen flying bombs and flying arrows. Remiel taking a bit of an unconventional route through this room. There's actually a few ways to go about it, so some people have a personal preference.
The conventional way is the more convenient. if you to have like your muscle memory on when you are have forced to do that room in dark, because it's a more easy variant to do in dark.
Yeah, there's a variant where you only have to change directions like 4 times. Oh no. This is it. Nope, no ice rod here, but it did give us the shovel. They're probably going to go check that shovel immediately, just in case it's the ice rod. If this is the ice rod, this is going to be so dumb.
Yeah. There's a faster way to check this shovel location without losing the portal, but I don't think anyone will remember it while in a heat like this. You can mirror to whatever mid cape or safety door, and then mirror and again to light roll and through the way your portal will be there since shovel is a light roll spot.
Is this it?
This looks like it.
This looks like it. Pedestal has not been checked, so we don't know what's on it.
Yeah, because the skulls is beat way earlier than having access to mirror. But thinking back, they could have have mirror when the big skulls is mirror is in hype.
In conventional routing, for the most part, depending on whether they started at like down near dam or not, I can definitely see people doing Skullwood before getting the mirror, just depending on which side of the Dark World you start with.
Yep. It's the same. You have the same access with hammer and hammer glove dark world access. So it's just down to preference. But that kind of preference can and have decided ways.
Oh yeah. Ice Rod is an Ice Palace. That's going to be both appropriate and unpleasant.
Yeah. Here's his bow. And rage slashes.
All right, well, they're going to take the opportunity to complete this place while they're here, and I wouldn't be surprised if they head over like back to pod once they finish here, because there is still 5 items in there, with the possibility of Ice Rod being on Sahasrara.
But he need to flew to 5.
Yeah.
There's also the Hail Mary play of Pyramid Fairy.
That will be an option after Eastern.
I will actually consider doing that on my way to pod.
I don't know, might check pod and then take the trip over from there.
Looks like Remiel is counting his items.
Yep, they've already got all 3. Because there's 2 items left and they're only missing the map and compass, so no reason to run down there and grab that. Alright, so since Remiel found the silver arrows earlier, Ice Armos is just going to explode here. Or Ice Armos. Armos Knights. Not Ice Armos. What am I talking about? We haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm too big a fan of the frozen version of this.
Yeah, Frozen version has a totally different strats. And I think I've seen a clip using Born Run that blows my mind.
Bloomerang Ice Armos. How to take forever. Remiel opting to come over to 4 again. Let's see what they're up to.
Looks like Pyramid is buried to me.
Yeah, that's probably a safe bet.
Maybe Pod after that.
It'll be a quick run over to the east from there, so... No, they're probably just checking Big Bomb now. Those sword beams. The sword beams are so bad.
The worst part is they can override your normal sword damage. There's a 300 on the library if he wants to get those.
Oh, there's been so much money this seed. Nope, just a shield and more rupees. Opting to mirror here, so let's see where they're going to go. I'm expecting the flute and... either ice or back to 5. Yep, looks like we're going to be heading into pod. So again, five unknown items here, as well as the possibility of whatever Sahasrara is holding if Helmasaur gets taken out. Murderdactyl doing its job.
Fortunately with Red Mail, it doesn't do that good of job. In Green Mail, it does 3 hearts per attack. But in Red Mail, I think it's only 1.5 or 1.
I believe it's only 1, and that's a good thing, because when you unfortunately have to come to early Dark World and you've got like 4 hearts, Murderdactyls are the worst. So as we discovered earlier, pod is bow locked, so the options consist of finding the bow or doing the potion glitch. Now that we have the bow, Remiel can come over here and take a look the intended way. One of the potions was found in a bottle, and they only used one of them against Vitreous. They decided to sit by the door and Master Sword Slash, allowing them to keep the second one.
And there was a green glue on the pyramid which he didn't take, so I think there's still a few left over here.
All right, building up those keys for Pod. I'm guessing they're probably going to check the chest on the ledge and then double back and hop down for the normal big key chest, as it were. Or they're just going to go to the normal big key chest. That works too.
Looks like north biggie chest and drops down, and then mirror again.
So if they find the ice rod in here, they're just going to mirror out immediately, and that's pretty much what we're hoping for, is just a nice quick run into here and leaving without having to do too much extra. Really don't actually want it to be an ice palace.
Yeah, but in true pod version, the first part is all the keys. We're going to find the items later.
Yeah, I believe he's only bought 2 blue potions. Opting to take that skull up for throwing. So since we found the big key earlier, we know Ramil has access to the big chest.
Taking a right a little too early in Dark Maze. Nothing yet. We still have 3 chests and helmets left here in pod, and one of them should be a small key to open Helmasaur.
I believe there's 2 more small keys because there's the one to open the single chest in the hallway over here as well.
Ah, true.
Butter sword? Can't shoot ice with that, unfortunately. So the hallway chest up here is just going to be a small key.
But it's also the fastest way towards Helmasaur, so he's going to take that small key.
Almost getting it on the Switch, but just a little shove and it's up there. It's time for more cutscenes! And by cutscenes, I mean the screen shaking a little bit while a wall moves.
So at least this one we can see the wall move unlike the one in Mire. I heard they are the same length, but I just don't feel like that.
All right, the Dark Turtle rooms. If you're trying to do actual dark rooms, these rooms are terrible. Fortunately, we got the lamp pretty early, so not really going to be an issue.
And those can be really horrible. If you have a fire rod, you can attempt to light the torch here, or you have fumbles, you can try to hammer a few times here, turtles flipped and then burn them with fire. Those are all possible strats if you have had to do this in the dark.
All right, Helmasaur, how cooperative are you feeling today?
17 hammer hits.
Unfortunately, giving us fireballs for the first attack and the second attack. Was going to give us a tail swing for the third one, but doesn't get to quite finish that.
Silver to the face prevents that. And here's his queen pendant. So it's either that or we're heading to ice.
Yeah, unfortunately nothing in here. I guess Swamp took all of Pod's items. All right, Sazrala, what do you have? Not what we want, no. Okay, well, so are we gonna go check Pedestal or are we gonna go to Ice Palace? We are gonna go to Ice Palace. I mean, I guess it's only logical if the ice rod is there.
Yeah.
So fortunately, the butter sword actually makes us quite easy with the pingators. Hookshot is another weapon that can just kill them instantaneously, which is a little bit strange, given that it stuns most enemies. But I don't think anyone's ever going to complain about the fact that it kills them.
Yeah, hook shot is strange as in it either one hit kills things or it just stuns them.
I think the most weird part about it is the fact that it's normally an instant kill to like small enemies like the rats and stuff, but for some reason, I guess the Pangators count as small enemies. I guess they decided that. One enemy I'm thankful that hookshot kills is these things, because there's nothing more aggravating than taking a swing at them and them deciding to pop their lightning like 4 frames before you hit them.
Let's see Ramil's attempt at bump jump. If you are going to bulk this dungeon, there actually is no need to do this, but most people do it anyways.
I mean, it's fun. Well, when it cooperates. Fortunately, because they are doing the full clear, they're not really going to lose too much time doing that. Let's see what we're going to get here. We're going to get the bomb strat. Always nice to see that one. All right, I believe we still have all 3 items here to find, so
Looks like it.
we're going to head straight down to the big chest. Well, we're down to 2 items. We are getting very, very close to the pedestal possibly holding Ice Rod.
Yeah, really, really close.
Oh boy, bouncing all over the place. This room is terrible.
Sleeping all over the place, indeed. That's
2
second
items.
item. One more.
So if you were in this position, would you... If you found a 3rd item here, would you go and kill Cold Stare anyways, just thinking there's so little left that it could easily be Ped, or would you just meter out and really, really hope it's not Ped and come back if you really need to?
Is there anything else other than pet at this point?
I'm honestly not sure. They've checked a lot of the overworld. They have not checked Catfish, so Ice Rod could be at Catfish. Unfortunately, Zero decided to forfeit because they were... that's 3rd item. They were having a bit of a rough time with the seed to begin with, and by the sounds of it, they weren't feeling particularly well, so they opted to just forfeit this one and pick up their tournament next week.
So for I'm unfortunate to say this, but it's close to my time to go. I have something else to do in the next hour, so I might be needing to leave real soon. I'll tell you that when I need to.
All right. Ugh. Getting that drop from that berry. They really like to drop items when you're hookshotting them and just stopping you from grabbing onto what you actually want to. The one in Hookshot Cave seems to be notoriously bad for that.
There are fairies, but they are not accessible when the switch is on blue, so they may need to take a potion here.
Yep, they're just gonna take the safety when they're this close. So let's see if they go to Catfish or Pedestal immediately after this. There might be another couple of overworld locations. Obviously, I don't have a full list of everything they've done, but let's. We're really pushing for those 2 locations at this point. Opting Bombo's Cold Stare save a lot of magic for using the Fire Rod during this fight.
Yep, Fire Rod and also does the same amount of damage. Nice spin, and Carlos smash that sword, and they all are all down.
Nice quick Cold Stare, courtesy of the Butter Sword. Valuable lesson to be learned: do not put butter on your cotton candy. All right, Ramil, let's see which of your options are you going with? Are you going to go with the Catfish, or are you going to go with a fan favorite option?
I say the fan favorite because Kevin is really out of the way.
You know, to be completely honest, it probably would taste okay. I'll be completely honest. I'd probably try it. Oh man, here we go. Are we gonna get the always meme-tastic ice rod on pedestal? No,
It's
don't book
reading
it.
it
Don't
first.
book it. No, don't read it. Don't read it. Just pull it. Come on. Come on. Well,
Here it is.
break out the explosives, everyone. We brought the fireworks.
And with that, we're in go mode. And unfortunately, I'll have to go. I'll leave the rest to you for it.
All right. Have a good night, Blast. Again, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, so back up to Turtle Rock. Fortunately, most of it is clear, so it's going to be a straight run through. After that, we're going to be heading on to GT and finishing up the seed. This very silly seed. Karasa, if this is your second ice rod in a row from doing tracking, please never track any of my races. So bombs at Uncle is actually okay. The advantage to getting bombs at Uncle is as long as you can kill that rat in a reasonable amount of time and with only 1 or 2 bombs, it absolutely guarantees that you don't have to go back to escape later. You don't have to farm for it. It's already in your inventory right at the start. NZero unfortunately had to forfeit because he wasn't feeling particularly well to begin with, and the seed was just going really not in his favor. So he just opted to continue playing in the tournament next week. Ramil is currently playing as Terra, yes, specifically Esper Terra, but of course the bunny sprite is her normal form. Transform, trans. Does this look like FF9 to you? All right. Anyways. Look, the developers are allowed to get puns in once in a while too, so unfortunately, I believe Ramil still has a blue potion in their oh no, they don't have. They might still have the green they picked up, I think, or did they leave that one alone? You know, now that you ask it, I have no idea what Ramil's potion status is at the moment. They shouldn't need a potion. I don't think they're going to, because they're going to be able to ferry or get a fairy if they need it right before the fight, and with the full magic refill and half magic, yeah, they've got plenty of time to just take Trinex apart with the butter sword. Well, Spaz, the current race time is 2:33. So that gives a little bit of insight. Unfortunately, the timer is... I wouldn't be surprised if he honestly had the same issue I did the other day, where when my timer decided to update, it ate my hotkeys. So can't really blame him too much for something silly like that happening. What do you mean troll the stream get 100%? The bloomerang's gonna drop on Trinex right here. Come on, we know what's gonna happen. Okay, they haven't... Ramil hasn't been in GT yet. There's plenty of opportunity to find the remaining items. Alright, Ramil needs to be a little bit careful here. 3 hearts, they don't want to get bopped by Trinex. Unfortunately, getting cornered there. Oh. Nice quick switch to the blue cane there and finishing off Trinex rather than taking the death. Oh wait, Trinex had the map. Clearly I didn't count my items well enough. Well, a burrito is at least It's at least still kind of food. When you're asking for the bloomerang, you're basically asking for a blue banana, so... Still getting a little bit of a snack right near the end of the run. Oh, right. I guess if people want, they can throw numbers in chat or something. That's a thing people do, don't they? Is everyone just going to vote 22 on this? Alright, so let's see what we're looking for here. We are looking for a bloomerang and 3 heart containers worth of health. No, wait. I mean, we're looking for the big key, right? Alright, 4 items here. We get another big 20 because there's an endless stream of big 20s in this game. Not what they're looking for. But they've got a fair number of the small keys for this dungeon now. Those red Stalfos. They're terrible. They wouldn't be so bad if they couldn't jump behind like chests and stuff, but of course they need to be able to get into all of the worst positions where it's hard to kill them. All right, well, so far we haven't seen what we're looking for, so we might get a lovely trip to Bob, since we did not take the 300 rupees off the torch. Unless, of course, Rando Room decides to ruin that, like it's prone to doing sometimes. Oh, what? Seriously? This room? Come on. I don't know. Well, we had 2 for... So 6, 7, 8, 9? I think that's 9. Hmm. Yeah, so 2 plus 4 plus the 1 on torch plus the 1 in the firebar room plus... Yeah, so it's 9. Whoever voted 9. No one voted 9. No one wins. GG, everyone. So we're about to see the start of the Gauntlet proper here. Ramiel's going to take a little bit of safety here. Probably a good idea given, I believe, a complete lack of potions at the moment. So these rooms are a thing. Someone decided that they needed to put projectile shooting enemies, jumping enemies, laser shooting indestructible enemies, and conveyor belts, spikes, and ice all in the same room. So this part of the game is designed to make you hate the game, I guess. I'm really not sure what their goal with this place was, but it's good at making you very angry. Oh look, another full magic drop after an entire seed of enemies dropping full magic. Wow, that was actually a really nice execution in that room. That was really, really quick for a really silly room. Alright, Land Mollusk 2, leg harder. Pretty decent Landmo too. Unfortunately not getting the quick kill with the silver arrows, but respectable nonetheless. Opting to throw the blocks for a little bit of extra fun. NZero had a combination of just difficulty with the seed and generally not feeling well, so they decided to continue with the tournament next week. So here we have the lamp room, which kind of functions much in the same way that you would expect a clock to function, in that it spins clockwise and a fire bar tries to kill you while you're lighting other stuff on fire. I guess at this point I'm just kind of... I sound like a tour guide right now. I should try to think of something else. Ramiel not opting to pick up those chests and look for the bloomerang. Look, I'm sorry, I'm running out of a little bit of steam, okay? Alright, Moldorm 2 decides to immediately open with attempting to push Ramiel off the platform. But actually being, aside from that little start, relatively cooperative, so goes down pretty quickly. Unfortunately has to wait for the explosions due to the hookshot not already being available. Going to do bad things to the last chest. Alright, on our way up to Aghanim 2 at this point, everybody's favorite master of geometry. Unfortunately, mini Helmosaur room with bumpers is not fun, but making it through. If you ever decide to ask your math teacher why math would ever be important, this right here is why. Going for the bug net. Oh no. No, they're just trolling me. Ramil, why? We wanted to see the bug net. Well, we're getting a partial bug net at the very least. Alright, well, at least getting one hit with the bug net for a little bit of entertainment purposes. So fortunately for the Ganon fight, we've got the Butter Sword, we've got the silver arrows. So this is going to be pretty quick. Just needs to avoid taking damage, a little bit low on health, and no safeties. Oh well, no safeties aside from. let me rephrase that because someone's going to point out that I'm being silly. They totally have safeties in the form of like the cape. They don't have any health refill, is what I meant. On to phase 3 and kind of wandering through that fire bat, dodging a fair bit of it, impressively. So Ramil has to be very careful at this point to not get hit again or give Ganon a hug. That would end really badly. We did find the arrows in the Dark World. We'll show you them in a moment. We know where the fourth bottle is. The fourth bottle is on Pyramid Ledge. Ramil opted not to pick it up. And finishes the fight with a double. Good job, Ramil. Good game after everything that seed decided to do to you, like putting the ice rod on pedestal, for instance. So, Ramil's in chat. Good game, Ramil. I'm sorry. I'm sorry what the seed did to you. Nobody wants to see you have to go through this. And finishes the fight with a double. Good job, Ramil. Good game after everything that seed decided to do to you, like putting the ice. So. Ramil's in chat. Good game, Ramil. I'm sorry. I'm sorry what the seed did to you. Nobody wants to see you have to go through this. That was very much a thing, and I don't know at what point. Like, there's a point when we started to get really, really concerned about the ice rod being in, well, PED. I think it basically came down to either being a pedestal and being a catfish. You already had collected the pendants, though, and decided to head up there, which, unfortunately, I can't say was a time save per se, because getting pedestal is never a time save. This seed was just really, really, really unfriendly in so many ways. But you pulled through, and it worked out in the end. It paid out with at least a very, very nice and clean Ganon fight, getting a nice double to finish it off. The ending sequence no one wants to see on the pedestal, and the freeze ray sleeps again. The worst. Freeze ray sleeps again. The worst. We're doing a bit of a strange setup, Ramil. Welcome.
All right, I'm here.
Yeah, sorry about the. There was some issues, but anyways, now that
So
we're here.
that was a thing.
Yeah, that seed apparently just wanted everyone to hate themselves, I guess. I don't know what that seed was, but it was not friendly. We're doing a bit of a strange setup. But you still put on a good showing, given that it did everything it could to stop you.
So what did Zero miss?
Unfortunately, he forgot about Spectacle Rock, which held the hook shot right at the beginning.
It seemed out of place that he.
It was, by the sounds of it, he was feeling a little bit ill to begin with. So when everything just started going south, like right at the beginning, I believe he just opted to continue his tournament run next week. But it seems that you're. It seems
Okay.
that the seed made up in the form of being an opponent, to say the least. Definitely hoping in the future that your seeds are much more merciful than this, because they were, yeah.
Yeah, it just caught me off guard. It was like, it started out bad. It was like, I saw a seed earlier in the tournament that had Bryna and bombs, and when that's all I had and it gave me a book, I was like, oh, please no.
Oh no, not this.
But then it gave me sword fairly quickly, and then it just became an item hunt. I got really upset with myself in the beginning when I died because of poor magic usage. But it happened.
NZero actually ran out of magic in there as well, so it just seemed to be... Blue Cane is a hard start. Like, you can't blame anyone for that one, as it's unusual to use as a weapon. And it's ridiculously massive startup cost. That means that you pulse it one too many times, and it's like, well, I'm out of magic.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have like almost 100 over. It's gonna be over 200 for item completion.
I don't think so, just because of the amount of stuff you didn't check in GT. I'm guessing it'll be just sub...
173.
Okay. A bit lower than I was expecting, but...
Same.
Yeah, I was going to call in probably the mid, like, 190s, but okay.
Considering I went pretty much everywhere, and apparently I didn't go to Catfish, but I marked it off at some point, so I'm glad that didn't have anything important.
Ooh, yeah. That was one location. There was the guy in Mini Moldorm Cave.
So yeah. But all in all, it was a pedestal seed. There was a lot of stuff I could have done faster, but in the end, I'm not very good with any of the last 3 dungeons. They're really my weakest area right now, so I've really been trying to work on those. So when it came down to be a pedal seed, because I was avoiding ice like the plague, I wanted nothing to do with Ice Palace just because I'm still learning how to fully route it.
Nobody wants anything to do with Ice Palace. That's a pretty common sentiment, so don't worry.
Yeah, and I tried to give everyone a show with Swaggin' strats, but other than that, I got nothing. This seed can be burned.
I'm sure it's going to be deleted very quickly if it's not already been deleted, so...
Yeah.
Is there anything you well, other than overwhelming hatred, is there anything you felt specifically about this seed?
It gave you a lot of money early and then never gave you money again. I think I got one major rupee load after my initial swarm when I went up to get Zora and to pay for all the mini games and to get into pod. After that, it's like, I'm glad I didn't need a blue potion, because in the end I didn't need a blue potion, because it would have been hard to go farm rupees, especially since the usual place with the bug under the rocks had fairies this time.
I mean, there was at least the advantage of there was a 300 rupees in the library if you absolutely needed it. But that being said, yes, the start of the seed was, compared to what I usually see in V29, there's just a lot of money and like no items. It's like, here you can have like the lamp, the power glove. Go nuts. It's like, excuse me, where's the rest of it?
Yeah. And how about that bow? One chest away from vanilla.
Yep.
That made me a little upset.
No one expects vanilla dungeon items. It's just the mentality people adopt with rando, and most of the time it's true. But when it comes up, it's like, really, game?
Yeah. But yeah, that's really all I've got. It's just, it was fun. So that's the most important thing right now.
Yep, and GG for completing it. Like I said, despite every attempt it made to stop you, you finished it up, and you got your win for the week. So,
yep. Move on to next week.
So if we've got nothing else, I believe we can wrap it up then. thank you for doing this run, Ramil, and thank you to NZero for the attempt. I hope you're feeling better for your match next week. Thank you for Blast Egg, who joined me on commentary, but unfortunately had to dip out a little bit earlier. Obviously, thank you to Carissa as our tracker and Spazmeister for allowing us to restream this. For now, if you've got nothing else to say, Ramil?
Nope. I think I'm good.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.